Hi, I'm Pam Fox at pamfox.org. Welcome back to another video. I'm going to be making a soup today from the Plantar Reflux Cookbook, which can be found on Amazon. And it is a cookbook that has all plant-based recipes that eliminate common trigger foods for reflux. And I'm also going to be sharing this to my friends doing the Eat Your Vegetables Challenge. So this soup is great for that. It's filled with vegetables and it's really versatile. You can really do whatever you want with it. But this particular soup was meant to kind of mimic Campbell's chicken noodle soup because it was one of my favorites as a kid. So let me go ahead and pull up the recipe, although I don't really need it, but I just want to show you. I want to kind of follow it because I will probably be making some modifications to it because I'm just going to be adding things that I have in my refrigerator, which is why this soup can be so versatile. Actually, I'm going to be following it pretty closely to the recipe. All right, so we're going to be using the Instant Pot today, and I actually have it right here, and I've got it on the saute function. So this recipe calls for a leek, which I have a giant leek here, which is no worries. We will put the whole thing in and it'll be great. So if you're new to my cookbook or to this channel, to the idea of eating foods that eliminate common triggers, and you're wondering, why are you putting an onion in there if you're eliminating common triggers? I would say it's because when it comes to the onion family, these leeks are they're the least in the onion family when it comes to possessing carminative properties. So a lot of people do just fine with these leeks, and they really do have a nice flavor, a really nice mild oniony flavor. So try it. You might find you do fine with them. You might find you don't. You might find that they are still a triggering food for you. So the only way to know is to try. But several of these recipes do call for leeks in the place of onions. Several of the recipes in my cookbook. Normally I would give that a little wash first because a lot of times they have sand inside, but I'm not seeing any sand. I just got back from my local co-op where they have all organic foods. And I only mention that because personally, when it comes to organic foods that I buy at my local co-op, you know, I might give things a little rinse, but I don't scrub them nearly as much as I would if I was just buying stuff non-organic like at Safeway. Then I wash my produce really well. All right, so I've got my mandolin here, and I'm going to slice up these carrots really quick. I'm not going to take a chance with those on live. Getting too close. I don't want to take a chance and cut myself like I normally do. And I have cut myself on the mandolin many times. So what I'm doing here is just throwing all of these vegetables into my Instant Pot on the saute function. That was, well, let's go a little bit more with this one. That was 3 carrots, and I've got 3 stalks of celery here. I think the recipe calls for, it calls for 2 stalks of celery and 2 carrots, but I just love this soup so much, and I hate it when I go through it and then it's all gone, and I wish I would have made more. So I thought I would just just kind of boost it and really make a big pot. Plus I'm taking the Eat Your Vegetables challenge, which is basically a challenge where you try to eat more vegetables by incorporating more vegetables into your meals. So I just decided instead of 2 celery sticks, I would do 3. Instead of 2 carrots, I would do 3. And I am going to be throwing some sweet bell peppers into the mix as well. And if you want to, you can chop up your vegetables, you know, nice and small. Like if you've got kids and they're just like, don't like it chunky like that. Of course, I mean, I do like it chunky, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I just have these, these sweet baby bell peppers that I know I've talked about these before, but I think they're great because you can keep them in your freezer and just grab them when you need them. I just gave those a quick rinse in some warm water, which kind of defrosts them a little bit. And then a serrated knife like this just goes right through them. I just kind of get the seeds out of the middle, slice them in half, and then cut them into those nice bite-sized pieces. And into the pot. So I'm going to chop these up. So guys, I don't think I will be able to finish this whole video today just because I'm going to go ahead. There's a couple of ways you can make this. You can, you know, when you're cooking your, when you're throwing together a soup like this that's got pasta in it, when you're using an Instant Pot, well, even when you're not, if you're using like a big kettle, you can throw your uncooked pasta right into the soup, for example, with this Instant Pot, and then you can close it up and cook it for like 5 minutes on the pressure cooking setting, and it'll cook your pasta. It'll use up a lot of the liquid that you put in there, and you'll have to add more, which is what I'll do. Or if you're doing this on your stovetop, same thing. You would just saute, you know, chop and drop your vegetables into your saute soup pot. Add your liquid. Add your, bring it to a boil. Add your pasta. And then cook your pasta, and then you may need to add more water to it because it'll cook out some of that liquid, or the, you know, the noodles will absorb a lot of the liquid. So today what I'll be doing is give this a quick stir. Already smells great. Today what I'll be doing, because I don't really have a topic today to chat with you guys, I'll just be probably creating this soup and then saying goodbye. But I'll show you a picture in the cookbook. It's just a really simple recipe, really. Winter noodle soup. It's just these vegetables, and I'm going to be putting in, of course you can put in whatever kind of pasta you like, but I'm going to be putting in like a spaghetti pasta, because again, this is reminiscent for me of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, which is something that has always been one of my favorites, especially on a fall day or a winter day. All right, so we're going to add these mushrooms. So we got lots of vegetables going here, which is great. And of course you could add in other things as well. And as I was saying, this is versatile. If you wanted to make this into a vegetable soup and add in things like, you know, peas and beans and more carrots, or if you wanted to do a minestrone, you could put in cabbage and rogatini. What are these? Rotini, these little noodles, and beans to make more of a minestrone. You could put in my safe marinara sauce that's in the cookbook in place of a tomato sauce because it's tomato, onion, and garlic free. Okay, so let's add, I already poured some water here. I'm going to pour in these 4 cups of water. Okay. And I'm going to put in some, this is just thick spaghetti. So grab a little bit of that and put that in. And I'm going to give it a little stir. And this recipe calls for herbs de Provence, which I might be out of. Let me see here. Oh, that's not it. I think I'm out of herbs de Provence. It's a really lovely little herb blend that really gives this a nice flavor. But I've got some Italian seasoning here. I'll just put a little bit of that in its place. That'll be fine. And then, of course, if you want to add salt and pepper to this, you can. If you want to add liquid aminos, that works. I'm going to add one more thing just because I have it in my refrigerator and I need to use it up. You could add, this is cilantro. You could add some cilantro. You could add some fresh leaf parsley, would be a nice addition to this. And that's it. So I'll give you a little peek so you can kind of see what I've done here. So I've got all those vegetables. I've got the spaghetti, the herbs, the cilantro, and the water. And in my case, we just put the lid on. And with these noodles in an Instant Pot, it's only going to take about 5 minutes to cook. Obviously, on a regular stovetop, you're going to want to cook them for 10 to 12 minutes. And then what I'll do when that's done is I add my vegetable broth. So it'll make it soupy because that pasta will soak up that water and it'll be almost more like a thick, not a casserole, but it won't be very brothy. It won't be very soupy. So I will add that in when I'm done. I could add it in now as well, but I find that the noodles really absorb a lot of that water, which if you're putting in broth, it absorbs the flavor of the broth, which is fine. This is just the way I do it. So, and then if I want to, I'll add some salt to it if I feel like it needs it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a really quick and easy, simple, versatile way to get in more vegetables and to have a safe meal that's void of common trigger foods. Thanks for watching.